lot of time it will happen is that you create dashboard like an executive summary in the front. And from that, whatever a person would like to see a detail of should be able to go to some other sheet and show the data. So in effect, to explain this to you, let's say I create a dashboard, everything related to subcategory. I may have things like subcategory wise sales, right? And I may have let's say this is category wise. And removing the subcategory. Okay, let's say I have this category and subcategory. So by the virtue of how Power BI works, each visual interacts with the other visual. So what we can do is we can make sure that the interaction is based on filter, not highlight. This you remember? Yes. And then if I click on bikes, I'll get all the bikes. If I click on accessories, I'll get all the accessories. But do you think it's a good idea to put another chart where the products are there? Because the first view of the products will be too much. So if I want it in a way that if I select a particular subcategory in the next sheet, let's say this is my main sheet. In the next sheet, what I would like to see is more detail on further things like product name by sales, product name by profit, product name by something, or any other information. Not just product, just like it could be as simple as we have product names and we have sales. This is one for that subcategory. So I can have country wise total sales over here. Then I also have for that subcategory, I also want to look at what is the trend of sales. So various things related to one particular subcategory. So right now, this is for which subcategory? Right now, all this information is for which subcategory? All subcategories. And I want it in such a way that if I select in my main page a particular subcategory or a particular category, I want details of it in the other page. So this is what we are doing. We are selecting an item and drilling down into another sheet with the details. So this process is called drill through process. How do we create a drill through process? You create your main sheets and then you create another sheet which is going to be your drill through sheets. Let's call it details. Right? This sheet, when you go to the format and you click on some white area, you see this page information. Generally, the page information page type is standard. All the pages are standard type. If I want to make it a drill through, I have to say this page type is a drill through page type. So once you click over here, now what you have to tell, I want to drill into this sheet or I want to filter this sheet. Drilling is nothing but filter. If I want to filter this sheet based on which fields? So we had kept the fields as category and I had kept this as a subcategory also. Right? So I'm putting two fields, category and subcategory can filter this particular sheet. And as soon as we do that, you will see there is a back button which gets created on top. Because essentially you're selecting one item in the main sheet, drilling to go to the other sheet, looking at the details, and you want a mechanism to come back. Drill through is nothing but a filter that you're applying. Right? So first setting is whatever is a drill through page, select the white area, tell the page type is drill through. Second thing, you have to tell based on which field it has to filter. Once the setting is done, we can go back. Now, let's say if I go to road bikes, you see drill through is coming up and it will give you the pages where this is the field by which it can filter. So that can be one page, there can be 10 different pages. right? So if I click on details now all it is talking about is road bikes. So whether it is the trend, whether it's a country-wise sale, whether it's a product name-wise sales, everything is related to that particular road bikes. And I can click on the back button. And if I say, okay, I want to look for accessories, again, when you hover on it, you get drill through, or when you right click, you get drill through details. And once you do that, now this is everything related to accessories. So not everything can be put everything in the main page. So we create dashboard in which there may be a main page and there may be a details page where a person would be able to look at the detail. Simple example, let's say we are working with e-commerce data. In e-commerce data, there are various brands and the products and their rating. Now, rating is dependent on reviews. Now, I can't put review over here. So what we can do is if you select any product or if you select any brand and you drill through, you will end up in a table which has reviews. Because I need the whole space to give for review. It's a big text. So on which day, which state, which person gave which review. So all the details can be sitting somewhere else. Only if someone wants to go through the details can drill through. Otherwise, this is done. Now, what is bad about drill through is that it's not intuitive. Now, how many of you think that a user will keep the cursor on this long enough to see, oh, drill through will come? Or will they even know there is something called a drill through which I can do when I look at a visuals? No. So drill through in its natural format is not at all intuitive. So what we do is we take usage of buttons and we write things, the text that we write on top of it is like this, that it indicates what a person needs to do. So how do you create the buttons over here? So the buttons are created under insert, and these are the various buttons that we have. We can have a left, right, reset, back, information, and we also have a blank button. So once you click on a blank button, this is how it is gets created, right? And what I want on this blank button, once I've selected the button, the format button screen is on. Now, when I click on a button, I want a certain action to happen. So what we do is we set an action of the button. So we are going to turn it on and we click here. Now buttons can also do various things. What it can do, it can take you back to some sheet. It can act like a bookmark. We'll discuss what bookmark is. It can do page navigation. You can say, okay, go to this sheet. Or you can also have drill through. So once I select, okay, when a person clicks on it, I want a drill through action. And on which sheet? On the sheet that you have set, the page information is drill through. So only details is there in this sheet right now. So I'll select details. So whenever anybody clicks on it, it will take the person to drill through sheet. Okay. Now the button also has to have two different states. What are two different states? When someone has not done anything, to indicate what needs to be done, and when someone has taken an action, then to indicate what it needs to be done. Meaning, drill throughs will not get activated till I click over here because you are drilling or filtering based on one item. So if I click nothing, you see this is gray. If I click, this is white, it changes the state. Drill through buttons changes state. So now we need to format it for the various states. So we go over here and under button style, you will see apply settings to default or disabled. So when I go to default and at the bottom, there is a text we're going to turn on. And what should be the text? Let's say select. Always disabled default. Select. So if someone has selected it, then it would say click to drill something or to filter to drill. Let's just say this. Click to drill. And then this is when someone has selected something. And when someone has not selected something, that is your disabled state. And in disable state, what is this text we want? Select one item from visual. So we can make it a little brighter, the color, so that it's more visible. Select one item from the visual. When you click over here, click to drill. So when you click, it takes you over here. So with buttons, we make it a little intuitive for the end user to understand how to use the drill through. Otherwise, in its natural format, end users do not know there is something called drill through and what to do with it.